All right, Ayana Contreras from KUVO the Drop. I'm here with Chance the Rapper.
Yeah.
I feel like I just saw you 2 days ago.
Yeah,
maybe
you did.
because I actually just saw you 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
Yep.
But you are going on this And We Back tour, and it seems like people are really just embracing you. We came up here at the Fillmore in Denver, and crowds around the block. Everybody is so like jazzed and excited. How are you feeling?
I feel really good. It's a blessing. Like, I haven't played Denver in a long time, and this was one of my, like, I don't know what to call it. Like, this is like a love hub. Like, this is where I hub all my love. Like, every time I've ever come to Denver, it's just been, just great vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think during doing this tour, it reminded me how much, I know I love to travel. I know that I love to be on stage, but I'm also like really a people person. Like, I like talking to people and meeting people and getting to like meet people and hear their stories and see them face to face for the first time in however long, or the first time ever. Like, it's just been very rewarding experience.
It's so funny. I feel like I've told this story before, but you remember the first time we met?
Remind me.
Okay. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
So
I was a child.
Yes, you were.
I was a bad kid.
Right. So we were at the YOUMedia space at the library, and you walked into the space, and I will never forget it. You were wearing some teal green boat shoes. Do you remember those shoes?
Yes, very well.
Yeah. And I was like, I really like your shoes. And you took them off your feet, and you said, do you want them?
That sounds like me. That sounds like me as a kid. I don't know why I would say things like that, but I'm glad you liked my shoes.
They were good shoes.
Yeah, I was early on the boat shoes wave. Nobody that was a kid my age was rocking them joints. There's some Sperry's probably.
I think so.
Yeah.
They were very unique. But I mean, the point here that I was bringing up is, yes, you made an impression, but also, like, I've watched you for a really long time. Yeah. And so even during this interim period where you were putting out like Lucy's, but you hadn't put out a full project, I've just been so excited to see. Like I said to somebody 2 days ago, I was like, basically, he took time off and got like a bachelor's and a master's degree. Like, real talk. Like, I feel like, with the Starline, festival and all the other things that you've been up to, you haven't just been twiddling your thumbs.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think I like to think of this time that I spent as like, sabbatical almost, where I was, really deeply just thinking about my craft and my trade as an artist, like what it means, like where the value in the works comes from, and spending a lot of time around other artists in different mediums, with filmmakers, with visual artists, with painters and fine artists, and with just amazing writers, Aja Monet and Vic Mensa and, Saba and John Doe, and just a lot of people that I grew up around that really value the artistry behind rap and poetry. And I think if I hadn't taken this time, I wouldn't have been able to deliver the project that we delivered collectively, because it was a lot of people that came together to make it happen. But I think I think all of every day that we lived in between the last project and today was a time of learning and and I think also like the space that we met in when I was at YOUMedia, that's what everything was kind of centered around, was like getting better in our craft, all the workshops that happened, the open mic, which was what built everybody.
Really special.
Yeah. But like, I think I'm glad that I was able to have this time to really just learn and to like re-examine a lot of things, whether it's on the, music side or in my personal life, or the content of my lyrics, or how I present stuff to people, my relationship with God, my relationship with my family, like everything, things change every day, you know what I mean? And I think in this time, it really shaped and, informed the works.
And all of your work is like deeply autobiographical in one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I really liked hearing this album as sort of like, I don't know, a bookend to this part of your life.
Yeah.
There's so many songs that I feel like, oh my God, like I can hear where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's a good place.
Yeah, I feel like I think emotions are like one of the key things that artists communicate, and I felt so many emotions, and I got time to really like think about how I wanted to talk about grief or aging or escapism or rage or whatever. And I think like there's such a range of emotions through the project that like it's something that you can really sit with and live with and maybe even like help other people navigate through those different emotions.
Right. I mean, that's healthy.
No, facts. I'm glad I did it.
And I'm also glad, just side note, that you got Brandon back to do the cover.
Yeah,
I
shout
felt
out
like
to Brandon Breaux.
that was amazing.
One of our generational artists and visionaries. And yeah, Brandon Breaux obviously did, the 10-day cover of Acid Rap coloring book, some of my 2018 singles, and just been like, all around, I don't know what to even call him. He's a leader. And I remember like talking to him when I first started doing some of the singles or, individual pieces over the years. And I started collaborating with artists from West Africa and from Canada and from the States. The first person I wanted to connect with was Brandon. And we talked a lot about different, mediums that he could create in. And that would like, help further this idea of like expounding on the different mediums in art. And he ended up never doing one of those singles, but I think it was important that it went that way. Because if he had did one of the singles, he probably wouldn't have did the cover art. And I think also if, I think he spent so much time, intermittently around me, watching me go through these different processes and like different life, changes, that he had his own perspective on everything when it was time to create the cover.
And you like an adult, like a grown person.
Yeah, he made me look old, right? That's what we were all saying. I was like, damn, I look kind of old on this one. He's like, that's how you look. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Like he's drawn me since I was 18 years old.
It's crazy.
But what I really love about Brandon, I always like to point out, is that like, except for maybe coloring book, these are all like really just straight up his ideas, like the cover art, and in terms of, and he spends a lot of time thinking about the colors that he wants to use, the landscape of in the background, just like composition, how big I am. Like I'm kind of slightly different sizes on each cover art, and he has like deep explanation for each one of those. And like he's somebody like me that wants to like look at everything in terms of the art that we create at a molecular level and be like, what does this mean and why am I doing this? And I just respect that.
So one last question. You're talking about why you do this. I think there's so many reasons why your album exists, right? Like from a Chicago standpoint, as a former Chicagoan, what I see so much is that your story is so inspirational for so many people. They see themselves in you. Wow. So just you come in with this record, it came at the right time. Chicago needed you. You know what I mean? Like really. But then also, I think the way that you lift up other people in your work. People your age, people above you, in terms of like generationally, like you do that work. Like, why do you think that you do the work?
That's a good question. I think it's because of you and Brother Mike and like my mentors when I was younger. Like always, I feel like stressed an importance on like having a legacy of being a supporter and an advocate and like a person that platforms people and ideas. And I think like we was on that since we was 14 and 15. Like we was like kids rocking keffiyehs and saying Free Palestine when we were children, and we were able to be radical and voiced and and opinionated and supported because the adults that were in our lives were like, yeah, explore these ideas, like, yeah, question things, yes, like express yourself. And I think I realized over time that, because in hip hop, like it's not that way as much anymore. But when I was growing up, there was always this like stigma around aging in hip hop and how it was like a young person's game and blah, 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 blah. But like the greatest authors get better and, as they get older, and like any, I think artists, like as you learn more and you mature, you have different perspectives and just a different way of attacking the art form, more. And so I've realized that like everyone has a story to tell, people my age, people younger than me, people older than me. And whenever we can like, collaboratively work on something, or I can even shine a light on those things, it makes I think it's just forwarding the movement.
I'm so proud of you.
I love you, dude.
Oh, man. Thank you. I can't wait for this show.
It's gonna be one. I'm gonna put on a show for you.
Awesome.